Hello everyone, my name is Nick Infernus and welcome back to another comic book review. Now this review and the next one I was planning on doing, I was actually hoping to get both of these out last week, but I wasn't really able to do that because I was hit with probably the worst sore throat I think I've ever experienced. I'm not going to go into too much detail besides that, but the result is that these reviews got pushed back to this week when I'm back at school. Thanks a lot, throat. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's finally talk about Werewolf by Night, the special presentation Halloween special from Marvel Studios, directed by A-list composer Michael Giacchino. At least I hope he's A-list because that dude makes some good music right there. And I guess there could be some initial skepticism about a composer directing a project like this. I mean, dude's a composer. What does he know about filmmaking? Well, quite a bit because spoiling it early, he did a pretty good job here. So what's good about this? Well, it certainly nails the horror aesthetic. Mainly with like the atmosphere, it's very tense. I remember being on edge quite a bit during my initial viewing. There are some light jump scares here and there. Um, like it's not a lot that's gonna it's not a lot of shit your pants moments, but some subtle jumps here and there that really add to the on edge atmosphere. And at the same time, this is definitely the bloodiest project we've gotten in the MCU, which it's able to get away with that because it's in black and white. Like Michael Giacchino said during D23, don't smack your TV screen. It's fine. It's in black and white. So yeah, love that. I do also love the chemistry between Jack Russell and Elsa Bloodstone, how they're kind of a little bit hostile towards each other in the beginning, but they have goals that can intertwine with each other. One wants something, the other wants a different thing, but they're able to accomplish both things by working together. So having that little dynamic where the ends justify the means for both of them and they're able to work together to achieve both those means, and the fact that they are able to have a pretty strong bond to the point where Jack really doesn't want to hurt Elsa when he turns into the werewolf. It's really nice to have that kind of dynamic with these characters, especially when everyone's out for themselves here. It's at least nice that there is some humanity in this group of characters. I do also know that some people had issues with the take on Man Thing. I thought it was okay. I'm not too familiar with the character, and I know that this is pretty simplistic compared to what he was in the comics, where he was the guardian of the nexus of all realities. But for all we know, he could still be that. This is the MCU after all. The chances of him coming back are pretty high. So, and this is the multiverse saga. We are still in the multiverse saga with this because this is a Phase 4 project. So chances are we will see Man Thing come back to be the guardian of the nexus of all realities. And one other thing that I will say that is a really nice touch is actually, yes, this whole thing is in black and white, but the bloodstone is the only thing that's in color. It's glowing bright red the entire time, and I love that touch. Really draws attention to it as an item of importance, whether it's the thing draining Man Thing's abilities. Well, not necessarily draining it, but more just weakening him and also putting him in a lot of pain, but also the thing that turns Jack into the werewolf. Great touch. However, there is an issue that Sean Chandler noted in his review, but for me, it's kind of a bigger thing. I really wish this whole thing was like a feature film. If this was like a streaming only movie and it was like twice as long, that would have been a really good opportunity to flesh out the characters and the story more because as it is, they flesh them out fine, but it feels like we don't get to spend enough time with the title character, with the werewolf by night. It's like with Moon Knight, I was able to eventually excuse this because, well, Mark Spector and Stephen Grant are the Moon Knights, but at the same time with Jack, it feels like two different individuals here. It feels like you have Jack and then you have the werewolf. I really want to spend more time with the werewolf, and even going back to Man-Thing, really want to spend more time with him and maybe see more of what he can do, maybe show off how he is the guardian of the nexus of all realities. Have all that happen. But as it is, it doesn't really feel like all the ideas were fleshed out properly, which is a shame because this special has a lot going for it. It just needed to be a little bit longer to flesh it all out. Now, that might sound like a very small thing to you guys, but at least to me, it feels a little bit like, well, it feels more like a bigger issue to the point where a 3 out of 5, sorry about that, is the only thing I'm really comfortable giving this. I might bump it up to like a 3.5 later, but at the same time, I don't see it going any higher than that. It was still really good. This is still the kind of thing that I want to see from the MCU going forward. And if this is what Michael Giacchino can do in 53 minutes, imagine what he can do in 2 hours or even 2.5 hours. Marvel, get him for Blade. I'm sure you won't regret it. Anyways, guys, I'm glad. I hope that. This is evidence that I haven't done this in a while. Guys, hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, you know what to do. I ain't gonna bore you with all that generic crap. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next review, and believe me, the next review is going to be a good one. Godspeed.